So here we go, it's part 3 to my Harrop e-locker install. Bug is finally in the car, as you will see in this video. Kind of chilly out here. We're in South East Queensland at the moment, we're all blowing away. Bit of an Arctic frost coming up. It'd be nice if this wind would just nick off. Makes it hard doing stuff. But anyway, yeah, so as you can see, the locker, in the last video, the locker went in finally. And then pretty much just got ripped straight back out. I was under the vehicle putting the plug for the wiring loom, which the plug is actually missing out of the loom, so I had to redo the plug connection to a different kind of connection, and in doing that the cable pulled cleanly straight out of the electromagnet out of the locker center, so I pretty much hooked it straight back out of the car, through the old diff that was in the car, straight back in, and dealt with, you know, the videos we've had since were Inurum Creek and Glasshouse. So I had no locker, which I would have loved to have my locker because it's kind of buggy out there and we needed it. But anyway, so the locker is finally in. But anyway, yeah, the locker's finally in. After dealing with Harrop's customer care and customer service, I guess you could say, having pretty much being told at the first that I could get stuffed, pretty much is their attitude, until I talked to someone else there, and finally got it sorted that I was getting a new magnet sent up under warranty, and that I just had to have it pulled out, new magnet put in. Obviously the locker wasn't in the vehicle. As soon as I had the issue with the cable, I pulled the locker straight out because the gaskets were still wet. So yeah, we done that, got it pulled out, disassembled, new locker magnet in. At the time I also had to do a new bearing because we destroyed the bearing pulling it apart. So yeah, new magnet in, made sure that the plug was done first. As soon as the ring gear and everything was in, plug, and made sure it was fine, gasket back in the car. So she's in the car now. Also, as you'll see in the video, we've had issues with the hub, just with the dowels. So you're not really locating down, just your weight. Oh yeah, I don't know what they're for. They're more so for the wheel roll around, I guess. I don't know. It's cold. My brain doesn't want to work. But yeah, anyway, we've had some issues, but we fixed it. So the rig is working, the locker does work. I have checked it. I said I had to use it yesterday, just getting firewood. So, you know, this isn't a weekend warrior ute, this isn't a show pony, this is, I use it whenever I need it. Sometimes she sits around for a week and a bit. Sometimes it's out being used every day collecting firewood, because that's why I built a ute. So I have a tray. I actually have a trailer in the back, so I'm getting that much this weekend. So, but anyway, this is locker part 3 installed, so I hope you enjoy the video.
That one's, there we go. Is that broken? No, not the same thing. Just looks small. And that is why I like these bolts slash against using the studs, because when you got the stud you got to get the nut and the washer and that cone washer out. As you see, that cone washer half the time stays in there. But I'm gonna grab some for that people. Just in case there's a bit of oil in here. Don't want to dirty the rims. Come out. There. So that's actually had enough that the diff center can come out. As you can see on the back here and on the ground, there is all the old gasket. Yeah, it's just falling apart. So the dowel, that's the issue. The dowel's broken. There's a clean break in that dowel. So if we come up here, that dowel is snapped off inside the hub because it's actually jammed in the diff there. So that can sit there. So yeah, this side will get. One dirt. So, because this one's got both its dowels, the hub's actually not wanting to come out. But I'm gonna force it. Like that. So, bit of dirt. Bit of dirt. Oh, there's a gasket. So that's what I like about this aviation sealer I use. When your gasket does actually bugger up with a little bit of heat, because this car has been used today. It's also been sitting in the sun for like what, an hour. So it'll heat it up. As soon as pressure comes off it, it'll, I don't exactly know what it does, but so we'll get that axle out. Next step is climb under there and pull the tail shaft. And oil dripping out of this one.
Hey, buddy.
Pumbaa. Hey, Pumbaa.
Liesel.
Who's your Pumbaa? Scratch his bum. Oh, my bum scratch. Scratch my bum.
Come here. He's like a little boy.
You can tell that I've definitely had some fun because this dip's only been in here a week. The pinions decided it wants to start leaking, which is why this is all damp and wet. But I've actually coated some of these bolts in dirt and schmutz, so but you have to clean the drain plug till we can get the socket on it. Drag that out of the way for a second so I can get under here and hoik on it. Love a tight drain plug. Fairly sure I just got that. Yeah, I did. So you can see, as I said, the diff's only been under here for a week and a bit. You can already look like the paint looks years old. So it doesn't take more than 5 minutes of fun and some mud to make a car look old as hell. I think that's actually the first time you guys have been under the car with me as well. But you can see the way my suspension's set. So having the 75 springs, it actually puts a bit of backwards angle. Oh, that's delightful. Puts a bit of backwards angle on the shocks, which does look like it's going to flog out the rubbers a lot quicker, but I knew that when I built this car that I would be changing rubbers quite quick. Yeah, I had a hard day. That was clean when it went in. As I said, I did not care about this rear diff center once it went in. Considering on the weekend we done what, about 400 Ks, 400 or 500 Ks. It's a fair bit of shiny. So yeah, that's why I won't be using this diff much longer. Oh, it's coming out. Finally, for the last time, hopefully. But anyway, we'll keep getting it undone. While you're on here, also you can actually see the big, looks like a factory cross member out the back there for the tank. That's actually the rear section of a chassis for one of these cruisers. So that's the rear section on my old Sahara's chassis. So that's actually the top. It got rotated. Literally cut it out from the back side, flipped it and welded it in, and it's got the front tank supports on it to fit my big fuel tank. Again, it's all engineered. The engineer actually thought it was a factory piece, but yeah, plenty of holes in it for different things. So anyway, we'll keep getting this diff out. Now we'll drop the tail shaft. I think she's in gear. I don't know what that movement is. It's not the slip yoke. That's in the transfer case as usual. I hate these things. The transfer case in them. Like that sound there makes it sound so bad. Guarantee it's just a low 4 selector on the neutral. Had a hard weekend. Should probably pull it all apart and check it. I am going to drop the oil in the gearbox in the coming weeks, just because it is getting on to about 14,000 kilometers on the car since I built it. I did change the gearbox oil after 2,000 kilometers, as per the rebuild slip said, because it is a fully refurbished, fully rebuilt, pretty much brand new gearbox with different shafts in it. I'm not going to go into detail of what's in it because that's for me to know. But anyway, we will grab my 14mm. Done these the other day. It should come off easy. Right, screwdriver and a hammer, because I don't like playing around. Anyway, just zip tie that up there, so I don't have to completely pull it out. Who cares for 2 zip ties? You want it to still be good. Bit of dirt. Make sure the dog doesn't run off. Right, I'm not playing. When people say these things are a pain in the butt to come out, it takes a bit of gentle persuasion. You can hear the gasket coming off. So it wasn't a gasket what was leaking, it was the pinion. Which is quite surprising considering I've never had an issue with this diff. Again, the diff's been in the car since I built it. So I don't know why the pinion would just randomly decide to start leaking. But who cares, it's coming out, it's not going back in. Probably shouldn't be saying that, because guarantee we'll get back in now.
You've done it now.
Yeah. So I'll just pull the diff out, and I'll drop it into some bucket so I can drag it out. And voila! I'll then put the diff on milk crate so I can drain all the oil back out. So I just stuck it in a container of it. Whoa. Where's it going for? Hey, yeah. Am I doing a good job? Yeah? Am I doing a good job on it? What do you reckon? You don't care? Beer time for the supervisor? Yeah? Beer time? You want some rum? Climb back under here. Crap. Where'd I put that damn blade? No, there's the blade. So the housing is now cleaned again. A little bit of scratch there. So now we will hit it with that old legend, and we will put our terrain tamer gasket on it. Yeah, I kept the terrain tamer gasket because I already had one. We don't paint the studs normally. That was dripping. This shook it. It's quite cold under here, and quite cold in general in this garage. I've had a couple of cold days here in the good old southeast of Queensland. Around that way. Slowly just edge her in. Up the diff, we'll throw that in as well. Yeah, just keep. Gasket fits a lot better than the cheap one I had. I don't know why. But anyway, we'll get the diff in, get that covered in much, and we'll show you what it looks like after. I think that's set in. Here we go. Holy hell, that's definitely a fun job to do. Hopefully I don't have to pull it out. Shouldn't have to, everything got checked before it went in. Definitely an awkward job while laying on the concrete because I don't have a hoist. Don't really want a hoist, they're damn expensive. Oh. So, as you can see with all the mess around me, so I had one of the dowels in the hub has broken off inside the hub, and there was a little bit in the axle flange. It's here somewhere. Yeah, whatever. So I've actually turned my axle on my hub. One bolt. Just rotate it over because so right there's a dowel that's buggered, so its opposite is down here, which is already buggered because I done that ages ago. That's the new one, it's now buggered. So I turned it one set of holes, so this hole now goes there, so the dowel is now here and here. I had a mate put in bigger dowels on a set of hubs for us, and I have two left. They're also longer, so they're about a 20mm
thereabouts stud dowel. As you can see, the first one I put in, yeah, I just had to there's a mark on the hub from where I've had to use the thread to pull the axle out. That's how tight I've made them. Because the mate sees, like, you drill the holes just smaller. If they didn't get smacked with a hammer, I was throwing them in the freezer for the night and driven them in tomorrow because, you know, in cold climates metal shrinks, and I would just heat the hub up with my blowtorch just to get that to work properly, but this managed to work. The other thing I'm going to do is clean out this other thread. I'm also going to change over all my bolts. They're going to look the same, but I've literally got a box of these bolts. So I'll just change over to another set, because with heavy four-wheel driving you can always weaken a bolt from on and off the throttle, smashing the clutch when four-wheel driving. So to be safe and not have this hub destroy itself, because I don't really want to put new ones on yet, we'll change out all the bolts. New dowels should make these hubs pretty damn indestructible. Right, what's going on, people? It's the next day here. So yeah, I got the locker in yesterday. As you can see, I had to drill this hub out and put bigger studs in it, but dowels. Now into the not very fun part is the wiring. So luckily, this is all that has to run down your chassis to your diff. So I'll wait till I run that from the diff up into the cab. This is the in-cab wiring. Relay fuse panel, whatever it is. I just took a photo of which way them 3 plugs went. But I have to, on these, because the mate's got an e-locker on one of his cruisers, in his, see if it's the same interior. So I had to mill this out a little bit, because nothing fits anything that was pre-1990. So I literally just had to make sure that plug's the right way. Now this actually slots in and clips in. Or not, actually doesn't. Huh. Right, I'll have to tinkle that some more. Kind of want here in the corner where it's out of the way. But at the same time, we've got the misso out here cleaning a collie because, well, getting rid of the damn thing. See what happens when we get rid of it, what we get. But checking it's one of these, being as a wagon. So yeah, we're on the hunt for a barn door. So being POV Pack or G-Pack, HJ60 or HJ61 Land Cruiser, and yeah, see what we get at. I know it's going to need some work, but I'm not afraid of that. It brings you guys content, so anyway, I'll throw this harness in, and I'm not going to show much of it. I'll just show it once it's finished, because I don't really think you guys might see a 4-hour time lapse of me playing with wiring and fighting it. I hate wiring. The other thing I've got to do, thanks Sue, so it remind me, I got to fill the diff. So I just let the gaskets all set overnight. Yeah, we will get into this. Yay. So that is now the locker done. Didn't even got a crack on my screen. Don't you love it when you don't have to be under the bonnet to wire the stuff? So because I built this car myself, in the kick panel in here on the inside of the car, I have, I don't exactly know what you call it, but I have a little power thingy. It's not power supply, well it is power supply, it's I don't know what it is. It's for my electric brakes, so I've got a thing in there which is circuit breaker, I think it is. Yeah, circuit breaker, I'm fairly sure it is, but I've got one of them in there for the electric brake module that's in this car, because I like towing big trailers occasionally, unless my trailer's like a 2-ton loaded. But anyway, so I stole my constant power off that, jerry-rigged off my cigarette lighter for the vehicle's ignition power, and now my lovely missus will play a game of the ignition and the switch. I'll steal this.
Oh dear.
So, same as we were doing before. Ignition. Looks like we are off and flicker on. Wham.
So because it's an E-locker and it's got a magnet in it, knock that stereo off. Gotta love the tunes of Akadaka, Aussie mate. So yeah, when you go backwards, so you'll go from locked and it's got to engage off the other end of the other side of the ramp plate. So you get about a third of the turn of your tyre depending on what you're rolling. Me myself, I'm rolling a 33-inch tyre. But yeah, you get about a third of a turn between forward locked and reverse locked. So turns a lot better. Again, there is no oil in this at the moment because I'm running to the very, very, very last moment to put oil in this in case something goes wrong. Yeah, anyway, but that's the you can knock the ignition off now, babe. So yeah, because of the way it's set up, as soon as you kill the ignition, we have no drive. We have open center. So you can see the prop shaft in there spinning, the tail shaft in there spinning. My wiring's just run up my brake line because I've got 4-inch extended brake lines in this rig because of my suspension. It just runs there along the inside of the chassis. It is all conduited. Any of my mates know me, I hate electrical, but I spent the time conduited everything outside the car and then inside the car too, because everything else was conduit. It was 600mm conduit for the interior, just down inside. So it pops inside the car here, just under my seat. For some models, it's where your factory rear heater is. You have an underseat heater in some of these models. There is a grommet there for factory wiring. It's actually for the 2H and 12HT diesel pre-filter, which is on my chassis rail. Just for your rear wheels is on your chassis rail. That's where that wiring is. So I've just popped through that grommet and resealed the grommet with tape. And it's run up in the kick panel to relay, and then the switch I've just had to, for the switch I've had to, I don't know if you can even see in here. Let's get my torch. So I've had to mill out the top of the switch and the bottom of the switch and the whole backing of this, because yeah, because of the age of the vehicle, you can't actually buy switches to this car. The closest you get is an 80 series, which is actually the switch for the locker in this car. It's for an 80 series, I think. But anyway, that's that. Finally have my e-locker in the rear. So that now concludes part 3 of this damn fun play. If you're still around, like and subscribe. Find us on Instagram if you want some stickers, because I've started doing some stickers. Just some Smooths Encounter stickers, which I have. But anyway, we have my Smooths Encounters YouTube logo. Everything. And then we have just some little, they're about 9 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Smooths Encounter logos. You know, just of the rig and my name. So if you want, find us on Instagram. It's the same name, Smooths Encounters on Instagram. But if you actually search HJ, or if you search hashtag 60Ute, my account will also come up, because it's sort of hashtags I made. Because I got a HJ 60Ute. Everyone calls them a chop. I call mine a ute because obviously it's a utility bed. Also, you can see in the background there, the tray is now down out of the roof. That'll be coming up shortly. I'll be doing videos on modifications to the tray, and then this one will be. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Catch you around.